This is Jim Peters. Welcome to This Town's Character. As you know, we don't talk about a character, we talk about a person who has character. And today we have Dave Conway, who is the principal at the Hellenic American School. That's the proper name for it, right?
Academy.
The Academy, okay. The Hellenic American Academy, and he's the principal of a growing school.
Absolutely.
It's that's made it. My wife went there for her entire junior elementary years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she graduated from there in many years ago. She wouldn't want me to tell you when.
We need to get her back for a little tour, take a look at
we do.
the school. Absolutely.
And we also have Senator Steve Panagiotakis here with us. The senator is here with us because he knows Mr. Conway better than almost anybody, although I've been with Mr. Conway for many years. And we're hoping that he has an amusing story or an amazing story or something.
He usually doesn't admit that, you know.
To talk about.
You know, my new claim to fame. I knew Dave Conway.
So my experience with Mr. Conway is that he was the floor master at Lowell High School for my son, who got in a little bit of trouble one day, and I had to sit in a conference with Mr. Conway, who was extremely fair, I have to say, and did an excellent job of letting my son know why he was in trouble. So I appreciated that, Mr. Conway. You did a good job.
Entirely welcome. Not everyone's happy walking out of the office.
No, well, I was surprised he was walking into the office. So that was.
Well, those things happen. Sometimes people slip.
Sometimes they do. So, Mr. Panagiotakis, do you have any good stories about Dave? Or?
Oh, geez. No.
Plenty of bad
He's
ones.
well, I'll say this. He's an excellent cook, a good educator, very good educator, but a terrible politician.
He's a
Terrible politician.
Despite the fact that he came in first for
Terrible politician. Terrible.
He skipped that.
But no, it's funny. I met Dave back in 1989 when I was running for school committee, and chalk it up to be careful when you answer your door who's going to be on the other side, because I wasn't out knocking on doors, and I happened to knock on his. He lived on Washington Parkway. I lived on Gibson Street, so it was right up the street. So it was the beginning of my canvassing or door knocking, and got to meet Dave and his wife Mary and the two girls. They were such little ones back then.
Right.
And you know, he was very gracious. He brought me in, sat down, we talked. You know, I learned a little bit about him and his family, and he was working at the high school at the time, and so he'd give me some pointers, things I didn't know about, and then he kind of started going over there once every couple of days and bothering him, and it kind of got caught up. It ended up being every day, and he became, you know, I was lucky to have a lot of good people supporting me, and Dave became one of those good people.
I remember when you ran, I got some people involved in Belvedere, and Steve came in after you won, and we had a meeting at the Donahue and Donahue law offices.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, but Michael Gallagher was there, a couple of other people were there, and we were kidding you about your finish, which in Belvedere had somehow gone up
Dramatically.
dramatically.
I think I went from 10th or 11th to 2nd or right there sniffing first. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and I remember you saying something about when I said, well, we kind of decided that we needed to support you. You said, I didn't think I did it on my own.
Well, I never did it on my own. That's for sure.
So I thought that was pretty funny.
It took a village.
It took a city.
Yeah.
But you know, I've had I had one person in who crashed her car on Route 3, got out of the car and said she had to get to her place of work, place of business, so that she could finish some business that had to be done before 3 o'clock, and the police officer telling her, you can't do that. And the police officer came in and actually talked about the whole show and the whole thing happening. And it was pretty funny, but I wasn't sure if Dave had anything that really would be mentionable.
Well, I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so.
After a number of years, I would think that a few of the things would stick in a positive way.
Yeah, a few. I mean, very few.
So you had a good.
So you're the one that.
I will tell you. Yeah, you wanted me to talk about him, right? So, his probably greatest asset is he married well. He says he's from Belvedere, but he's actually from the Oaklands.
Oh, okay.
Now he's living on Andover Street,
Yeah,
so
that's,
he's finally made it.
Yeah, my wife reminds me of that quite often.
That you were from the Oaklands?
Well, see, I think that one of the, that's right, she does. But one of the strengths I think that I do have is I'm able to identify good people. And Steve obviously was one of those good people. I had a very difficult time pronouncing his name. That was a little bit of an issue for a while. And then spelling it, it took weeks to figure that one out too. But you know, Steve was very good to my children, and he actually helped to mentor them. And I think because of that, he was an intricate part in making developing them into successful individuals. So we certainly, my girls often ask about Steve because of the positive things that he certainly has done, not just in their lives, but also lives in the city and in our community and the state too. So it was I'm glad that he rang that doorbell, even though he ate a lot when he came
Yes.
to dinner. I know that.
See, he should be a diplomat now. He's doing pretty good. He's doing
good cook.
Yeah, he's an excellent cook. Let me tell you. Seriously, fair painter, not bad. Not bad, but
An
good cook.
excellent
Yeah.
That's good.
That's artist painting.
Yes.
Yeah, I've known Mr. Conway since you were a teacher.
Right.
I was a student while you were a teacher there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Come
So
on
that
now.
goes back.
You're an old
Come
son of a
on
gun,
now.
aren't you?
Sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought you were the teacher and I was the student, if I recall.
You've said that a number of times.
Well, if I keep on saying it, it might stick.
I think it was the other way around. But we did want to have Senator Panagiotakis come in today to talk a little bit about Dave, because Dave is a remarkable individual, and I've had a great time over the years with his friendship, his tutoring, and his just being himself.
Well, I thank you.
Well, now he's taking on quite a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
The Hellenic American Academy is the oldest all-day Greek parochial or day Greek parochial school in America. So it's certainly historic as far as the Greek American experience here in the United States. And he's taking it over at a time when enrollment has somewhat dwindled and is starting to bring in some of the innovation that he has brought in through his whole career, and bring that innovation there to try to increase the enrollment, but not just the increasing enrollment, enhancing the educational experience so that parents have a choice. And when they look at the Hellenic American Academy, they're going to see it as a very, very positive place to send their children. And in a short time, about how many, 6 weeks now?
About 6 weeks.
He's done a heck of a job starting to turn the place around. I give him a lot of credit.
Well, I remember my wife we were younger, and her parents spoke Greek, so they would often start speaking Greek. I think it was for my benefit. I didn't speak Greek, and
They were talking about you.
they were talking about me. And one day she said, "I know what you're talking about. I spent 6 years in however many years it is, in the Hellenic American Academy, and that's all we spoke was Greek." And she had many funny stories to tell about the Hellenic American Academy. It was one of her teachers decided to run for school committee and wrote to all of her all of her students that she was running for school committee, would they please support her? And my wife remembered that, and I guess they did support her. She didn't win, but she did fairly well. And that's the only person I've ever heard of from the Hellenic American Academy running for anything in the city.
And I think that might continue on for a little bit.
Perhaps. But I think it certainly has, when I'm looking at it, it certainly has evolved, and it's going to continue to evolve too, because I think that what Steve says, I think, is extremely important, is that it has a great background, great roots, great history, and it certainly has been a school of academic excellence for generations. And we do have small class size, but also taking a look at it, there are enrichment programs that we're going to be introducing. We've already introduced many of them, because I think what we're trying to do right at this particular point is almost create a sixth model. You know, there's 5 basic models to education, and I think if you take a look at the 5 models and take the best of all of them, I think that's the goal of what we're trying to do at the Hellenic American Academy, and you know, introducing one of them, one of the enrichment programs. We have it's a partnership between Enterprise Bank and Washington Bank with a couple of the employees, Bopa Malone and V. Kong. And they're going to come in and spend an hour each week talking about the Cambodian culture and language and arts and music and dance and so many different things. So that's what we want to do, is expose our students, boys and girls, into to the entire world.
Right.
Not just a small community, but let them know that there's so many things going on. And you know, again, that's just one example. We're going to be going into so many other educational enrichment programs, and also we have a great curriculum. But I think we're going to enhance that curriculum too. We have some ideas on that, and I will say the group that are there are extremely dedicated, and they're great. They really are. It's not a job for them, just like it has not become a job for me. It's more of a mission, to be quite frank with you. And I think that's what that's the important part that we have to look at. Mm-hmm. We're excited about it every day. We're really excited about it. It's fun. Mm. I don't get to cook as much anymore. We have a lot of takeout. That doesn't keep my wife happy. But we're having fun.
Oh, that's good. I'd like to thank both of you for coming in. And,
pleasure.
I'd like to have you back at some point.
Absolutely. We can go into much more detail about the programming.
About the school,
Right.
which I think is very important. And I am voting no on question 2, because I think the charter schools have one of the things that they have done is effectively cut into the private school group of students that you might get. And I have a little problem with that. So.
Well, I will tell you that the people that we've had, I've brought a lot of people into the school right now and give them the tour, and again, trying to, should we say, sign them up for some help. And they're amazed at the school. They were surprised because they saw that there was there were a number of different ethnic groups that were in this school, and they saw the diversity, and they realized that things perhaps have changed over the years. And I think that's what we need to do, is celebrate that diversity, and we certainly do. And still keep in mind the Greek tradition and the Greek history, and along with the language too, because how many schools teach a second language, and to listen to 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds talking Greek is another language is quite amazing. And it's not just students with a Greek background, but with anyone. And I think that's extremely important.
I had 3 words: Yasu, Takanis, and Kalal.
Get you by most of the
Thank
things.
you for most Greek conversations, but that was my exposure to Greek, the Greek language. And as I said, my wife was fluent, and she's lost some of that now, but because we don't speak it at home, obviously,
Exactly. Yeah.
and her parents are no longer around.
Mhm.
So, but it's been interesting, and I'd like to thank you for coming. So thank you.
My pleasure, Jim. Thank you for having me.
Okay,
Thank you,
you.
Jimmy.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
And
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
hi, this is Jim Peters with Peters Principles. Today we're going to cover a special event at the Greek Americans, Hellenic Americans Academy, and we're going to cover their visit by first responders who will be presenting be filming a presentation for them. And we're going to bring you to it, so sit back and have a good time.
Part of the mission of the Hellenic American Academy of Law is to provide a safe and nurturing environment that stimulates the intellectual curiosity of our students and develops growth and responsibility. Part of the responsibility is to be engaged in their community and to support the groups that protect our schools and our city and provide help to our citizens during emergency situations. We do not want to wait for a tragedy to remind us of how lucky and how blessed we are to have so many dedicated policemen, firefighters, and emergency medical professionals who are available to help our schools and our community every hour of every day. And we thank you for that. Therefore, today, the Hellenic American Academy has chosen to honor these individuals for their brave service. These first responders have been invited to our academy so that we can personally thank these men and women for their service, their courage, and their commitment to the community. We truly appreciate these heroes and for what they do for us. At this point, I would like to bring up a very special guest, someone that has given and contributed so much to the community of Lowell, and also was a very strong friend of the Hellenic American Academy, has spent many years helping this city as a city councilor and also the former mayor of the city of Lowell. Would you please give a great big round of applause to former mayor Edward Bud Caulfield, who will be saying a few words and also singing the national anthem. Mayor Caulfield.
Thank you, Jay, for that very nice introduction. But we're going to sing the national anthem, and if everyone could please stand. And I know everyone knows the words to this great song, and I need some help. So, are you willing to help me? here this morning and to say a few words. And I want to thank the students for your attention, and you're just wonderful. Put your hands together for these students at the Hellenic Academy. Come on. I also want to recognize the local firefighters that are in attendance, along with members of the local police department and Chief Winwood from the fire department as well. Gary Seppi from Trinity Ambulance and David Daly from Pride Star Ambulance. Please put your hands together for them. Police officers, firefighters, EMTs. I don't want to sound like a preacher to the choir, but they are human beings, they are not robots. They leave their home every day to serve you and I. And many times, they run into dangerous situations they don't want them. I went on the computer last night and I come up with some staggering statistics. Since January 1st, 99 police officers have died in the line of duty. 44 of those officers from gunfire. 10 officers were killed by vehicle assaults. 5 officers were killed because of vehicles and accidents. That is not counting the police officers who were seriously injured and probably cannot work again. Just Wednesday evening, there were 2 Boston police officers who were assaulted by a man with a shotgun. And because of the quick action of the Boston police applying a tourniquet to their wounds, they are now recuperated, hopefully in Massachusetts General Hospital. 68 firefighters since January 1st have been killed in the line of duty. Not running from a fire, but running into the fire to save people. Mr. Conway, I want to thank you for this function. It's long overdue. We should have it once a year. And I want to pay attention to our EMTs and the 2 outstanding ambulance services we have in the city. Trinity Ambulance, Gary Suppy is in the back of the hall, and David Daly is over here to my left. They not only respond to accidents and people in need, but they're outstanding to the community. I would need quite a bit of paper to write down everything that they do for the community. And they do it very quietly, with no family. So, Mr. Conway, thank you for allowing me to sing, for allowing me to share my thoughts, and to the local police department, to the local fire department, and to our ambulance companies. God bless you. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you for those words, former Mayor Bud Caulfield. Before we continue here and introduce some of the first responders, I just want to point out a few individuals that are in the audience that have joined us to support us. We have the Superintendent of the Lowell Public Schools, Dr. Salah Helfawi. We have the former Mayor of the City of Lowell, the one and only Rodney that has contributed so much to this community of Lowell and the surrounding towns, our very own Senator Steve Panchitaka. And also we have with us, joining us today, is the Director of Human Resources for the Lowell Public Schools, Ann Sheehy. Thank you. And certainly we cannot forget our former mayor, the one and only Rita Mercia. I hope that we included everyone in that. I know we have a lot of honored guests here today, and again, I thank each and every one of them. What I want to do is I want to bring some representatives of the different responders up to say a few words, please. The first, the police chief, William Taylor. Would you come and say a few words, please?
So I wanted to come up with our partners here. Chief Winwood from the Fire Department is going to say a few words, and this is Lieutenant Riley from the Mass State Police Air Wing. And I think it's important that you see us come up together because it's very much a team effort. We work together, us, the Sheriff's Department, and obviously the State Police and the Fire Department, Trinity Ambulance. I think the important thing is that we're here to help, and we're here to keep everybody safe, especially all the children. And I think this is a wonderful event. I commend the new principal for putting this on. It gives us an opportunity, and I know that you're going to get this opportunity, to talk to all the police officers, the firefighters in attendance here today, and just get to know them, and you'll see that they're like your fathers, your brothers, your mothers, and they're just like everybody else. The only difference is that we're here to serve you. We're here to keep everybody safe, and we do that day in and day out. And so we're just like everybody else, except, that we do that and we fulfill that function. I think we do an exceptional job between the state police, the fire department, the sheriff's department, and the ambulance service in the city. I think we do an excellent job keeping everybody safe in this community. So when you get the opportunity, talk to the police officers, the firefighters, everybody in attendance, introduce yourself, and just get to know them. I think you'll see that we're just like everybody else. So that's really what I want to say, right? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Superintendent Taylor. Thank you for your great partnership with the fire department and all the other public safety departments in the city. I'd like to thank Mr. Conway for having us here today on this beautiful day. I'd like to say hello to all the boys and girls out there and all the staff here at Hellenic, and thanks for having us. And I'd just like to echo what Superintendent Taylor said and talk about a little bit about our partnerships. The public safety people in the city all work together to keep you safe. The police department, the state police, the fire department, the EMS agencies, Trinity, TriStar, Lowell General Paramedics. We all work together to keep you safe. And it's a great partnership that we have. When something bad happens, we'll all come together and we'll help you out. You don't need to be afraid of us. We're here to help you.
thank you very much. It shows us, and I think it was certainly explained very carefully, and how the police and the fire are always there to help us. I would like to introduce the EMTs. I'd like to have from Pride Star Dave Daly and from Trinity Gary Seppi, just to step up here, just to say a couple words.
I gotta say, I'm really impressed with the school today. Coming in here today, reading about this.
That's the staff. That's a great job.
Very impressive, I can tell you that. I'm very impressed with the hats. Those things are awesome. They look really cool, but now, just to echo what Bud had mentioned about what the police and fire, the staggering statistics, we were reminded of how many of these personnel we lost just this year. It's really alarming, and there's no doubt in anyone's mind with these people when they put our uniform on every day, they go out to protect us, the fire, the police, and the EMS professionals. And I think one of the big things is they don't get recognized enough. And I think today, having us here today to recognize them for all the work they do, putting their lives on the line every day is simply amazing. I want to thank you, David, for honoring us. And I want to thank the school, the great school, and I want to thank, again, all the professionals out here that put their lives on the line every day for us. So I want to say thank you.
Hello. I know it's Friday and everybody wants those burgers like this and hot dogs and everything. I prepared a speech. It's only about a half hour long, so I'll give you a few minutes. No, seriously, I just want to echo what David said, and the police chief, the fire chief. The support you're giving us today is tremendous. People don't call the police or fire to have us over for a pie. It never happens. It's always an emergency situation. So something like this today, here at the plant school, this is amazing. You guys having us down here and showing us this support is absolutely beautiful. I just want to thank you on behalf of my team over at Trinity, and I know David's team at Pride Star, the whole general paramedics, and all of our police and firefighters. Thank you very, very much. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen, and I will say that both of them are probably going to be upset with me right now, but let's give them a very special round of applause, because I'll tell you why. They are putting on the cookout for the hot dog and hamburger, the company of Pride Star and also Trinity. Thank you very much. And we're coming to the end of the program, and I think that what's very, very special and very important is I'm going to bring up Mr. Warren Turner, and he's going to introduce 4 students. They're going to say a little tribute to each one of the divisions of the first responders.
Good morning. I'm Mr. Turner, the humanities teacher here for 4th and 6th grades at the Academy. You will hear from 2 representatives from each of those 2 grades, and I want to let you know that all students contributed to their ideas. So first up, we have from grade 4, Ava Reed.
EMT means emergency medical technician. They're the first medical responders on the scene. They respond if someone breaks a bone or if there's a car accident. You name the crisis, large or small, and they respond to help those who are sick or injured. It takes a lot of training to be EMTs. They know first aid, they know CPR, they know how to quickly respond to any emergency. It takes a lot of effort and bravery to be an EMT. EMTs save many lives. We are grateful for EMTs, but especially those enrolled. They are our heroes in our community. EMTs, thank you for all you do and your service to our country.
Miss Zoe Jackson.
Hi, my name is Zoe Jackson. I have witnessed with my friends Dasso Kiovan and Yanni Kazarakos. Thank you, firefighters. We are very happy that you came here today. Firefighters are ready, willing, and able to help in many emergencies. They train for putting out fires, and they inspect buildings like our school to prevent fires. Firefighters are strong and brave. Firefighters are always prepared for any situation. Their training is long and hard, but they are always ready. We are grateful to our local firefighters. We appreciate that you are always there for us. Thank you.
From sixth grade, here is Nicholas Jackson.
Hello, I'm Nicholas Jackson. Welcome to the Hellenic Market Academy. We, the students, salute you for all you do. You put criminals in jail. You keep us safe on roads and highways. You keep us safe in our schools and our homes. You're always there to respond to emergencies. When we see police cars in the community, we feel safer. We know your job is tough and dangerous. I would know that if there's ever trouble, you will be there to protect us. Thank you.
And last, also from grade 6, we have Zoe Mignolis.
Good morning. We are all here today to honor and celebrate our first responders. Despite all the efforts they do for us, we don't always get the recognition we deserve. The Massachusetts State Police Force is made up of so many amazing men and women. Heroes all, they are the best of the best. We can't thank you enough for everything you do. You protect us from dangerous traps. You respond to emergencies anywhere in the state. You are always there for us. The Boston Marathon bombing is an example of a crisis where the Massachusetts State Police responded quickly, saving lots of lives. You're truly an inspiration. Thank you from all of us.
Can you do me a favor? Could you give a big round of applause for those 4 students? They were very nervous coming up here today. Thank you very much. Before we come, you know, it was, they obviously, and I told them, I said, when anybody comes up to speak in front of a group, everyone gets a little nervous, including myself too. So again, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. And what I'd like to do is just 2 more things that we're going to do. I'm going to ask former Mayor Bud Caulfield to come up with one more song, if at all possible. Bud, can you come up? And then the teachers are going to give flags to each one of the students. The students are going to come up here after Bud Caulfield sings. The students are going to come up here, and I would ask the first responders to all come up and stand in back of them for a group picture. All right? Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Conway. Would everyone please stand and join with me? And this song, Kate Smith made this song very popular. It's not sung enough in this country, and now more than ever, this song should be sung. And we're going to sing it today, and please join in with me, okay? God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light of above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans minutes did I ask?
Chief, nice to see you.
You
Thank
too.
you. Thank you for being on Peter's Principles. I'm kind of wondering what you're thinking of all this. It's a lot of luck for your department.
Oh, yes. Well, I think this is a wonderful event. It gives us an opportunity to come in, interact with the children in the school, and gives them the ability to see us, close up like we are, just community caretakers out there to help them and make sure the community's safe. And so I think it's a great opportunity to do that. And I really commend the school for taking the time and to put this together, an invitation of both us, the fire department, and all the other first responders.
So my son's a first responder. He's a paramedic.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah.
And he works in the western part of the state. And so I kind of have a lot of empathy for first responders. It's a tough job.
It can be, but I think, in this particular setting, the important thing to make sure the children are aware that we work together as a team and that we're there to protect them.
Right.
And I think if those two simple messages, the children can come away with that we're there to be their friend and to help and protect them if the opportunity arises, and that we work together as a team. I think that's tremendous.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay. So what do you think of this type of reception for the first responders?
Yeah, I think this is a good event for these youngsters. There are kids here from preschool all the way up to 6th grade, and I think it's important to let them know the importance of fire safety, police safety, and that the public safety, they're friends. They shouldn't be afraid of them. I think the most important thing I learned, I went through the crowd with the kids, and they've all been taught, even the little 3-year-olds, 911. Call 911 if you see something, or tell your parents. And I think that's an important message that we send right off to the bat when they're at this age.
It seems like it was well received, didn't you
I
think?
thought it was very well. I think it's a good event. I think we should do this in all our public schools to reinforce the importance of public safety, police and firefighters, and EMTs, people that run the ambulance, and send a good message, a positive message, especially nowadays where there's so much I think negative publicity about the whole public safety issue. I think it's important that we be positive and we all know the kids. So I think it was very well received to see little kids with their fire hats, that they made with paper. So I think it's almost a celebration of public safety, and I think that's a good message.
Okay, good. Thank you for being with us.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Okay, we're with the man of the hour, Dave Conway, the principal of the Hellenic American Academy. And Dave, it's nice of you to have us here.
Well, it was great. I'm glad you were here. What a nice event, huh?
It was beautiful. It was a very nice event.
I think it just shows that there's so many people in the community that supports the first responders, our policemen and our firemen and our EMTs, and we're very, very thankful that they're here today. And I've asked different honored guests to come, for example, like the superintendent of schools, Dr. Kilfowley, which obviously these are all students enrolled, and he supports the school too. So I thank you for being here, Doctor. You're welcome.
Do you see this happening in a public school now? You're going to talk to some principals? Or?
They always have. As you know, our schools work very closely with the first responders.
Right.
So they always have different ways of recognizing them. I think we can never do enough. Last year I spoke at the high school to that effect. I think they do a great job and they're great partners, and every opportunity we get in the community, whether it's with us or with other organizations to recognize them, I think it's something that they should hear more often.
I think so too. I was telling the police chief that my son is a first responder. He's a paramedic.
Oh yeah.
And he sees a lot of stuff. He won't tell me what he sees, but that's one of the things about being a first responder. You're there first.
Yeah, we don't see all they see. I mean, they make it look easy. It's a tough job.
It is.
They
a
make
tough
it
job.
look very easy for us.
Yes, they do. Well, thank you for
Thank you.
having us.
Appreciate it.
Okay.